In this Python tutorial, we will learn what a device's MAC address is and how we can find it. First, I want to give a brief information about how the Internet works. On the screen, you see a local network where four computers are connected to each other via a router. Devices can also connect to the Internet via a router. For example, Computer 2 is trying to access google.com. The request made reached the google.com server. A response needs to be sent by the server to Computer 2 in response to the request. But first, let's understand how this request reaches the google.com server. Every device connected to the Internet has an IP address. IP addresses are divided into local and public. Public IP addresses are the IP addresses that devices use to connect to the Internet. Local IP addresses are the IP addresses that devices obtain to connect to the local network. You can think of an IP address as a device's home address. When you try to access google.com, this request is converted to an IP address. This conversion process is done thanks to DNS servers. The DNS server is a system that converts domain names on the Internet into IP addresses. In this way, the location where the request should go is determined. Now, the google.com server will return a response to Computer 2. Thanks to the IP address, it is clear where the response will be sent. The response has reached the router. But to which computer will the router forward this response? Here we need the MAC address. Computers are connected to the router with a network interface card. In short, this card is called a NIC. Each NIC has a unique MAC address. It is defined by the manufacturer and cannot be changed. You may hear that it is partially changed, but you can accept it as unchangeable. The data, that is, the response sent by the server, will be directed to the correct device thanks to the MAC address. There is a table in the router where IP and MAC addresses are kept together. Thanks to this table, the router determines which computer the data should be forwarded to in the physical layer of the OSI model. The data has reached Computer 2. Now let's examine the MAC address closely. The MAC address consists of 48 bits, or 6 bytes. The first 3 bytes are a fixed value assigned to the manufacturer. It is defined as organizationally unique identifier. The last 3 bytes are a unique identification number assigned to the device by the manufacturer. Thus, all NIC devices in the world have a unique MAC address. Now I will show you how to learn the MAC address of your device with Python. Transfer the OS library. Send the ipconfig all command to the open function. Print the variable to the screen with the print function. The physical address represents the MAC address. Now let's directly display the MAC address on the screen with simple string commands. We can divide the MAC info variable with the split function. Let's find out which index the physical word is in. I count the indexes one by one after 96. The MAC address should be in the 107th index. I print it to the screen with the print function. We learned the MAC address. I convert the print function I created for the index to a comment line. Finally, let's learn how to find the MAC address with the command prompt. You can learn your MAC address with the ipconfig all command. I recommend you to watch other Python tutorials.